Hello and welcome to Hardest Part of the Ring.
What are you doing?
Oh, balls, he's back.
That is the hardest part of that ring. For the hardest part of the ring. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 75 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. And it's true, I am Adam, I am Mr. 97%, and I am back from holiday.
Welcome back, mate. How was it?
It was good, yeah. I had a whole week. I was about to say I didn't think about wrestling, but I listened to the podcast, of course.
Oh, what did you think? Any good? Any notes?
There's just something missing from it. I don't know. It just didn't quite feel complete. But no, it was good. Sam did a good job. I haven't even mentioned the fact that they're not here, have I yet?
No.
I suppose I should get to that. I should try and be a good host again. Yeah, it's just me and John.
Hello.
We've got a little intimate podcast today because Sam, we basically tagged in. I got back from holiday. He was at the airport waiting. I ran over. We did a hot tag. He jumped on a plane. So he's gone to Spain, I believe. I was in Portugal. Brett, he's busy. He's just busy. He's such a busy guy.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear Brett's voice, then I should say that he is on the last two most recent Riptide After Party podcasts, which were very good. So go and check those out. So yeah, it's just me and John today. But yeah, I did listen to the pod. I sat by the pool and had a listen, and it was really weird. I just wanted to keep butting in and getting involved, even though I didn't even watch Stomping Grounds.
Oh, haven't you? Are you going to watch Stomping Grounds? Is the big question.
No, not after your review.
I would say the first half is really good.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I read some reviews before I listened to the pod, and a few of them had some 5-star matches. Well, not 5-star, like A-rated matches. Yeah. Bleacher Report rated a few of them with A ratings. So I thought, yeah, it's going to be good, and then. So it turns out that it was sort of half good, half terrible.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, well, I won't bother. It's only the second pay-per-view I've missed since we've been doing the podcast, so I feel that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, you're allowed a couple.
Yeah. So that was the last podcast last week, Stomping Grounds 2019, and this week we're moving away from WWE to AEW to talk about Fyter Fest 2019 after this.
EC3 now has Velveteen Dream on the apron.
Velveteen Dream could be in trouble. Wait.
Counter here by Velveteen.
No way.
Dream Valley Driver on the apron.
Fyter Fest 2019, AEW's second ever pay-per-view. I say pay-per-view. I think it was free, wasn't it, in America?
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I think Fight for the Fallen is also free, and then All Out is going to be a proper pay-per-view again.
Is Fight for Fallen free for us? Can we get it for free?
No, I think... actually, I don't know. I should have looked into this. I don't know what the deal was. Obviously, it was on ITV again, but I can't remember. I'm not sure if it was free to watch. I mean, I watched it for free, but we won't go into how.
Yeah, ditto. Yeah, not going to...
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because the way I'm seeing it is that we had Double or Nothing. Obviously, we had All In, but that wasn't AEW, but we had Double or Nothing. And then we had this, and I sort of saw them on the same level, but it seems as if perhaps this Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen are perhaps lower level pay-per-views.
Yeah, definitely.
And All Out is then again going to be a big one like Double or Nothing.
In many ways, this is kind of more interesting because it's not a big pay-per-view. It's kind of more of almost like a TV episode in many ways, I'd say.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's almost like a fast lane.
Yeah, it's definitely a mid-level. Fast lane's harsh, but...
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But, I mean, I went into this expecting... I didn't really think that. I went into this expecting something top level again. So, actually, at times, I was a bit like, but with a bit of time to think about it, as a lower-level pay-per-view, it was pretty decent.
I would say...
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I'd say the production value on this was better than...
Yeah. Definitely a little less rusty.
Yeah. Even just the graphics look great. The comms team was a lot better.
Yeah, it was smoother. I mean, I didn't watch the pre-show, so I'm not quite sure how that went in terms
Where's
of
bloody
the comms
Brett?
team.
We need bloody Brett.
Yeah, pre-show Jones taking time off. I wonder if he watched it. We should have got him to send in a voice message on his phone or something with the pre-show report, but hey, we didn't. So, but yeah, the comms team were very smooth. I thought the whole production right from the off, as you say.
Yeah, I've never heard of Golden Boy before, but liked him.
Well, Golden Boy is a esports commentator.
Oh, interesting.
So obviously, I mean, this is a thing. I'm having differing opinions on how to think about this, but obviously they had a bit of a partnership with CEO Gaming, which is the community effort Orlando fighting game event thing, which they have every year. So obviously Young Bucks and Kenny, as we saw, big gaming fans, and they've got this partnership they've set up, and it coincides with that event. So I think they wanted to try and do some crossover there, but it's a bit of a weird choice. I don't know. Apparently Golden Boy is a lifelong wrestling fan, but I don't think he really contributed much.
Oh, I thought he was quite good. My one criticism, and it really pains me to say this, Jim Ross is...
Ooh, he was all right.
I don't know. He just makes a lot of mistakes. I know he's a legend, and he really is one of the all-time greats. And I still love him. I don't begrudge him doing this at all. But I don't know.
I think he's all right when he's calling matches.
It's like watching the Rolling Stones now. You know.
Hey, Mick Jagger is what? He's like 70 years old, and he can still move extremely well, I think.
I know, but I just don't want to see him move.
No, okay, yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, so, I mean, I should say the comms team then was Jim Ross, Golden Boy, and Excalibur. Excalibur, total pro, absolutely brilliant.
So good, especially on like play-by-play, like in match stuff. One of the best out there, I'd say, at the moment. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think of the name, Fyter Fest?
Liked it. It kind of works with the gaming thing and also obviously Fire Festival. I thought it was funny. I loved the staging actually with like the FEMA tents and like the fake band setup. What's funny? Yeah.
Oh, I saw that fake band setup at the end. I was like, what has this got to do with anything? But of course, now I understand. Don't you think it's a bit weird that, you know, Fire Festival was 2 years ago now? That the documentary was
this year though, wasn't it, Doc?
Yeah, but it's not like that topical, and it seems like this might be I'm criticising it because it's not topical. It might be a yearly thing, perhaps. This
no, really.
Well, it might make sense if they've got the partnership with CEO Gaming.
I know, but you're right. The reference is no one's gonna remember the reference in a year's time, I'd say.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. I just thought I think it's a cool idea to potentially have a pay-per-view that can be repeated year on year, like WWE and, you know, like other people. But yeah, I'm not totally sold on the idea. But anyway, no need to criticize the name. Let's get into the actual event. It was held at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. Yet again, we've had a string of pay-per-views where we don't have an attendance. It's just nothing.
Shall we guess? I reckon 13,000.
Ooh, well, apparently that place has an attendance of 9,000 when it's a theatre. So actually, you think it's going to be less than that?
Okay. 7.
Yeah, maybe 7, something like that. Did you notice? I'm just spotting people in the crowd. The guy from NXT, the guy who's always in the front row in the Everton shirt for NXT, he was there. He was in the front row.
No, I did notice some really tall dude who was wearing a Kenny Omega t-shirt. Massive guy. He was just screaming at all the wrestlers.
Yeah. I saw a guy who I thought was standing up the whole time, but maybe he was just that guy that you're talking about.
Yeah, he was just... You could even hear it on the mic when they went out to outside of the ring. It was like, Jesus. He was like giving... Was it Joe Gianella? Like a really hard time. Like, calm down, dude. Just sit down, relax, enjoy the wrestling. It's going to be all right.
So into it.
Yeah.
The card, we had a pre-show, and as we've said, we didn't watch it, but we can say that there were 3 matches. The first one was Private Party versus SoCal Uncensored versus Best Friends. Apparently this was basically like a really good showcase for Private Party.
Yeah, I heard that. I might have to check that out because I love SoCal Uncensored and Best Friends.
Did you see the Road to Fyter Fest videos?
No.
One of them had... I don't know, it had 3 minutes of general bits and bobs with Cody in his office and the guy eating an apple and all that good stuff. And then it basically had a promo for Private Party. It was about 8 or 9 minutes long.
Wow.
And it didn't show any in-ring stuff or any training stuff. It was just them talking. I skipped most of it.
I've never heard of them before, and I'm bit scared of Googling private party, actually. I was just about to do it now, but probably shouldn't.
No, probably shouldn't. Not with your... the algorithms know what kind of things you'll be wanting to see.
Lord.
The next pre-show match was Ali versus Lever Bates, who's the librarian. That is a terrible gimmick, right?
Yep.
I mean, it just feels like crappy WWE stuff.
I feel like it's almost there deliberately to piss off Jim Cornette, though.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. I'm warming to it. Ali got the win, which will give her some momentum going into her match against Brandy Rhodes at Fight for the Fallen. We had the classic backstage shot of Brandy watching that on a screen. So yeah, that was that. Apparently not a very good match. And then we had a hardcore match between Michael Nakazawa and Alex Jabali, who is the creator of CEO. So not a wrestler at all. They had a match at the CEO event last year that Jabali won, and since then they've had a year-long feud, apparently. I don't know if it's just been on social media or that kind of thing. So it was a hardcore match, and apparently they used lots of gaming controllers and a big bag full of joypad buttons and things like that. It sounds like it was... Well, I mean, it sounds awful in many ways, but apparently it was quite good fun.
Okay.
So that was the pre-show. Moving on to the main card. We had 6 matches. Christopher Daniels versus Shima. Riho versus Nyla Rose versus Yuka Sakazaki.
Oh, nice. Well done.
That is such a great name to say, isn't it? Sakazaki. Go on, do it.
Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah, oh God. You sound like you're going sucky, which is...
Yeah, I think that's what I did, actually. There.
Yeah, again.
It's that algorithm.
Something else. Yeah. God, just filth. Absolute filth. MJF versus Jungle Boy versus Jimmy Havoc versus Hangman Page was the third match. Then we had Cody versus Darby Allin. Then we had a 3-on-3 match, Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid versus Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And finally, we had a match that really shouldn't have happened. Very naughty. It was unsanctioned. It was Joey Janela versus Jon Moxley.
I was confused by that match because obviously they said it was a lights out match, and I thought it was like whoever knocked the other person out.
Oh, right. I thought you said the person who won was going to be the first person to go up the ramp and turn the lights out.
That would have also made sense. I would have been on board with that.
So yeah, 6 matches, and this is just 2 of us this week. We're not going to do the usual format of looking at key matches and then the best and the worst of the rest. We're going to go through every match, some in more detail than others. So we're going to start off with Christopher Daniels versus Shima, and I reckon this is going to be one that we don't really go that in depth on.
Yeah, it's hard, this one. I actually really enjoyed this match. I mean, both these guys, seasoned professionals, been in the game for a long time, and the match was really good. But that's all I have to say about it, really. Like, it was really good. Shima's facials are very intense, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christopher Daniels is 49 years old.
Is he really that old? I didn't realise that old.
Yeah. Well, he really is a total pro.
He really is. Like, he could put on a good match with me. A decent match.
Yeah, okay. A 2-star match.
Yeah, 2-star.
Nice. We can agree on that. I like the fact that this was following on from the match between SCU and the Strong Hearts at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Starting to build some feuds and some storylines and things like that, which is good. Something that I think they've missed opportunities to do things like that in other areas. But I liked it. I thought the Arabian moonsault looked cool as fuck, and that's pretty much the only thing I have to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I mean, Shima got the win. Obviously, he's got the fight with Kenny Omega at Fight for Fallen.
Yeah.
That should be a great match, actually. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good match. Just
cool.
Not one with a lot of talking points.
No, exactly. And there are a lot more talking points to come. So let's move on to the second match, which was the women's match between Riho, Nyla Rose and Yuka Sakazaki. What do you think about Nyla's ring gear? I thought it looked like something from a dressing up box. When she came out with that like lacy
veil thing.
The veil, yeah, and then the mask, it just looked a bit rubbish. Like somebody
I liked it.
Trick-or-treating at my doorstep.
I quite like those sort of half-assed, thrown together at the last minute because we're going to a Halloween party in 10 minutes sort of costumes.
It's better than those kids that turn up to your front door just with a hoodie up, just with their hood up.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Hastings, which is a pretty rough place. We used to get some trick-or-treaters that were just rough kids going trick-or-treat, and it's like you gave them something just so they wouldn't kill you.
Yeah, your wallet or your phone or something. What did you think about this? Because I kind of felt like this was a match of two halves for me. I thought it just felt really choreographed at the start, a bit sort of stiff, but not in the wrestling way, kind of like in the acting way. It was like, didn't feel very fluid. But then it seemed to turn into an amazing match.
Yeah, I agree. I think the second half was phenomenal, actually. I really enjoyed this match. It was really fun, really fast. But you're right, the beginning bit, it was a bit juddery, and there's a few like missteps.
Yeah.
But Nyla Rose looked really impressive, like so strong.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the other two were sort of trying to gang up on her. I thought that was cool. And that knee from the top rope.
The guillotine knee.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah, that was amazing. It got such a huge reaction, but to see someone of her sort of build flying through the air like that, and it seemed to connect pretty firmly on... I don't know, who was it? Was it Sakazaki's head? I just want to say Sakazaki again, so say it was.
I'm not even going to guess who it was. It was one of the Joshi girls. I mean, what's great with them is that because they're quite small, like, Nia can just throw them around. It looks so strong.
Yeah, and when she did that double clutch with the two of them between her, that looked great as well. Yeah. And sometimes when you get a three-way match and you get a bigger wrestler putting two people in a move, like a figure four or something or whatever, it doesn't, you just think one of them could pull out of that. But this kind of worked, didn't it, because they were so tiny.
Yeah, and there's a bit where she grabbed both of them like crossbodies, and that was
amazing.
So impressive. Yeah, that is.
To catch one of them, and she barely stepped backwards, was impressive. But to catch another one and not lose balance, just amazing core strength.
Yeah, because it's not even just the weight; it's the force at which they're landing on you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very impressive.
And they have to get that perfect as well, don't they? Because if they do it slightly off centre, then it could go horribly wrong. And there's nothing worse, is there, when one of those spots goes wrong and then they have to try and pick them up again, and it's just awful. But yeah, they nailed it. I just thought it was scrappy at times, but it was really captivating.
Yeah, everyone really shone in it. Like, obviously, Nia looked really strong. Rio, I thought, kind of looked like sort of like a canny operator, like the wily, sort of wise one trying to weave in and out.
Yeah.
And Yuka is just like the fun Soul Calibur character.
Yeah, that's so true, which fits perfectly with the theme. Rio as well. I mean, yeah, you saying that she's wily, it fits in with the ending of the match with the roll up and grabbing the win, and then Nyla sort of beat down on Rio, and Yuka got involved, and they teamed up on her. So I like that. I like the ending.
I think the women's division on AEW is looking pretty strong. It's heating up quite nicely.
It is. It's nice and varied as well.
Yeah, they've got a lot of different people, different body shapes and different styles.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Okay, on to the next match number 3, which was the 4-way match between MJF, Jungle Boy, Jimmy Havoc, and Hangman Page. I actually wrote down MJF. I literally drew 4 fire emojis for his promo.
Amazing. Like, just saying if everyone lives in the basement, and making that reference to the Fat program. What was it? Like My 50 Stone Life or something like that. Yeah.
And the references to D&D stuff and video games. And, you know, I used to enjoy video games too, and then I lost my virginity.
He might be the best promo in the business at the moment.
Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant. So
he really
good.
Is.
Yeah. And what about the little partnership we've got going on between Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus? Luchasaurus bringing him out on his shoulders.
That was my favourite bit of this whole match, and I really like this match. But when Jungle Boy came out on Luchasaurus' shoulders, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, Luchasaurus is such a terrifying looking dude. I remember reading about him before I ever saw him, like doing like PWG and stuff over in the States and all those indie shows, and I heard that he was a dinosaur luchador. I thought, oh my god, that sounds bloody, because I imagined it to be one of those sort of big inflatable dinosaur suits.
Yeah, another one.
So I thought, oh, that's gonna be bloody awful. And then you see him, like, good lord, he's like 10 feet tall, stacked to the gills, tattoos all like inside his fingers.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the close-ups of his fingers.
Oh my god, he's scary.
It's one of those where like he must have been high or something, and he was like, Luchasaurus is a great name.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no. But he has really gone with it, and it is bloody amazing. I agree. I can't wait to see more of him.
But I mean, even Jungle Boy in this was probably the star performer, I'd say. Like, he looked great. So crisp and crazy acrobatic stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like Jungle Boy. Jimmy Havoc, he was solid, wasn't he? I like that he got the bite in early doors when the ref wasn't looking.
Did you notice he did the double stomp from the top rope?
Mate, oh my God. He didn't bend his legs at all.
No, he's a big guy to be doing a double stomp.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes we criticise with the coup de grace of Finn Balor is, just the way he goes in and he's basically bending his legs fully and you can just tell that he's taking the sting out of it, but there was none of that from Jimmy. Absolutely none of it. That is a wrestling move where I always think, surely that could do awful damage.
Yeah,
I could be breaking ribs.
I don't think there's a way you can take that. I don't think there's a way you can take it. You just take it.
Yeah.
Like they jump on you and you just lie there. That's it.
I mean, if you know it's coming, obviously, then you can brace yourself, but still, madness. What did you think about Hangman Page in this match?
I don't know, actually. I'm a big Hangman Page fan, but I felt it was a bit anonymous in this, really. Like, I think the other three look way better.
Yeah. I just thought from the off, Hangman Page is going to win this.
Yeah.
Because he just seems, he's like the bigger name, isn't he? The bigger star by quite a lot over Jimmy Havoc and Jungle Boy anyway. MJF is a massive rising star, but isn't quite there. But the weirdest thing about this is that they were fighting for the right to face Kip Sabian.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he was on comms. This match had so many whoa moments for me. Like, it's still weird seeing Jimmy Havoc in AEW for me.
Yeah.
And it's even weirder seeing Kip Sabian.
It is. It really is. I mean, obviously they rate him, and I've got nothing against him at all. I haven't really been exposed to him that much. But as a guy who we've seen at Riptide a few times, and we just thought, he's pretty solid. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's just not you wouldn't have bet any money at all on him being called up to AEW, I don't think. I mean,
no.
we don't know a huge amount about him. Maybe we're wrong on that, but it's a funny one. But yeah, let's hope he fulfills the potential they clearly think he's got.
So is he facing Hangman at Fight for the Fallen?
Yes.
That'd be an interesting match, actually.
I mean, you almost feel like it would have been better to have had Kip Sabian in this match and then have Hangman Page as the prize for those four wrestlers.
Yeah, didn't make, like you said, it was so obvious that Hangman was going to win this.
Yeah.
It didn't really make much sense to put him in it. It's still a good match, but...
And then at the same time, you've got this... I think they did quite a lot of build-up on the YouTube videos of MJF versus... like a feud between MJF and Hangman Page. And that's something that I think may well develop as the promotion develops. But
do you reckon MJ's going to cost Hangman the match against Jericho for the belt?
Yeah, maybe. Jericho's winning that belt, surely.
Yeah, I would. Well, you never know, but would make sense.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't really complain. It's not like Kip Sabian's done a terrible job or anything. We've just got to see what happens. So it just felt quite strange. So Hangman Page won with the dead eye, which looked pretty damn good on Havoc.
Yeah, I mean, his buckshot lariat is one of my favourite moves in wrestling at the moment.
Yeah, got to agree with that. That was good.
Yeah.
But again, another solid match. I think 3 pretty solid matches to start off with. Nothing spectacular, but nothing bad either.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, all good matches, nothing stellar until the next match.
The next match, indeed, which was Cody versus Darby Allin.
Did you watch the video package they did of Darby Allin before, the little promo thing?
Yeah.
Did you ever play the PC games? Oh, I think it was on PlayStation as well. Max Payne.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of like a video sequence from a Max Payne game. It was weird.
Max Payne was like revolutionary, wasn't it, for the bullet time?
Yeah, it was an amazing game.
Yeah, I forgot. I did get that on PC. Remember, I had it on two discs. Oh god. Oh, great times. PC gaming. I had that on my Gateway 3000.
Gateway 3000?
Yeah, that was the first PC I ever got.
It was called Gateway 3000?
Yeah, it was a brand. That's a brand of
Really?
Yeah, PC brand.
Never heard of it.
Oh, mate. Gateway 3000. It was basically from the year 3000. It may well have been made by someone else, like Dell or something, but it was called a Gateway 3000. I say it was my first ever PC. It was the family one. My mum and dad bought it. We got in Carter. It had Minesweeper, had all the things we needed.
Do you remember the first time you saw in Carter, like a video of like a cuttlefish or something like that, really pixelated? And you're like, wow.
This is incredible.
In my primary school, we had one computer for the whole school in the library. That was it. And it had Encarta on it. It was amazing.
Shitting hell. It's so different. Kids just don't know how lucky they are. Anyway, nobody wants to hear old men.
Sorry, old man speak.
I can't even remember where we were. What were we saying?
Oh, Darby Allin, Cody Rhodes.
Max
Do you know what? I never really liked Cody Rhodes, but he has really grown on me over the last few matches I've seen of him. He's got such a lovely classic style of wrestling. Like, he's not like full of like pyrotechnics and craziness, which so many like big wrestlers are these days. He's just like properly classic. Like, you can almost see like the history of wrestling in the way he wrestles, you know?
Yeah.
Like all the like the sort of headlocks, the hip tosses, and like the taunts.
I love the like lying flat on his back and then the uppercut move.
Yeah,
which he did against Dustin as well. I just think that's just a really fun move. I mean, what we should really talk about. Oh, well, we could leave it till the end. What do you think? I mean, it's the main talking point from the whole pay-per-view.
Oh, I was just going to say Darby Allin.
Okay,
I was really excited. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've decided. We're taking a call. I've never seen him wrestle, but I've heard a lot about him from Evolve. I was really excited to see him. He didn't really get a lot of offense in this match.
No, I've seen him at. Oh, he was at this year's Super Strong Style Progress.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good there. He's someone I've been interested to see, and actually, you're right. With hindsight, he didn't get much offense out there at all, but I love him. Like, he loves to take a big bump, and he does it brilliantly. Oh my God,
that bit where they called it a coffin drop onto the hardest part of the ring. My whole body tensed. It was one of the most brutal spots I've ever seen. Even just for talking about it now is making me feel tingly and a bit sick.
Oh,
it was so nasty.
You talking about your body being tense and tingly is making me feel a bit sick.
Yeah, sorry, that was probably a bit too graphic.
Yeah, I was thinking, wow, the way he's falling here this is madness, and that's when I thought he was going to fall onto Cody.
Yeah,
we actually got a little message on Twitter from Carl Luckhurst. Who, I reckon now, Carl, you've done it twice, so we're just going to appoint you as our official hardest part of the ring scouter, perhaps, because he sent a little video of that. It had Excalibur saying hardest part of the ring. So I think, Carl was suggesting that we could clip it and use it as a sting. But the crowd reaction was so big when he said that the audio quality was just terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we've got extremely high standards here on hardest part of the ring. So, can't use it, but amazing moment. I've never seen anything like that. It was just... And then
he had another bit where, like, Cody threw him through the ring post.
Yeah. He just went flying.
He sells like a motherfucker. Like,
I think, obviously, the fact that he's got experience of being a pro skateboarder, which means he's stacked it a lot in his life. So he's just immune to it now, maybe.
Yeah, it was this or the match after this were my match of the night. At the time, I absolutely loved this match.
Yeah,
like, I loved the ending, like with the draw. Like, they timed it so brilliantly as well. It was perfect. Like 1, 2, time up.
Yeah, they did. They did a great job. I think this was my match of the night. I think, again, just like you say, the way Cody's developed, or maybe just the way he's decided to portray himself in AEW, in the way he did in All In as well, as opposed to how he's been portrayed elsewhere. It is so classic. And then Darby, I mean, used to be a skateboarder, has half face paint. He's only 22. He chucks himself around and doesn't give a shit. I mean, there's not much not to like with him.
No, he was good. I love the fact he brought a body bag to the ring as well. Like, if you bring a body bag into a wrestling ring, someone's going to go in it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing about that is when he got stood up, Cody did probably the weakest disaster kick I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was rubbish. It
was weird. Just go for it. Darby doesn't mind. He loves it.
Anyway, so that was the great match. Now the talking point.
Yeah, the big talking point. I mean, it was a surprise to see Shawn Spears coming out, right?
Yes.
Chair in hand. An interesting choice. Again, you could say similar to Kip Sabian. I mean, they're really backing somebody who perhaps you wouldn't have expected them to back. But to have Shawn Spears basically go heel, he's obviously going to be a heel character, to smack one of the lead guys of the whole promotion over the head in an unprotected chair shot.
To the head.
The Young Bucks apparently have come out since and claimed that the chair was gimmicked. So it was actually, I don't know, extra padded or something, but it went wrong, they said.
It did not look like it, did it?
No, it didn't. Initially, though, did you look? Because I thought it had connected with the front of his head and that he must have bladed or something, because I couldn't work it out. But then I watched it back again and again and again, and this was before they then showed it again and again and again.
I was so angry that they had showed so many replays of it. I thought it was gratuitous. I thought it was really gratuitous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should be doing chair shots to the head at all, even if it is a gimmick chair. I just don't think you should be doing it. It's just bad. And it obviously really fucking knocked him as well. Like, he did not look well, and there was so much blood.
Yeah, pretty bad. And then, you know, we then had that very awkward period, you know, talking about JR not, you know, perhaps not being at his best. That period after the match where clearly they weren't quite ready. I don't know, you know, maybe medics were attending to. It was a bit weird because you think they could just carry on, but maybe all the senior people were really wanting to check on Cody. But there was a long period where the comms team didn't really know what to do, and they just started talking a lot about CTE protocols and all that kind of stuff. It was that was quite awkward.
I thought the best thing about it, though, Dean Malenko came out to the ring. That was lovely to see.
Oh shit, yeah. Well, they had all the Nightmare Family people, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Because MJF came out, he had his Nightmare Family jacket on.
It's still MJF. No Diamond Dallas Page though.
No. But yeah, it's funny. This is one of the things. I got back from holiday yesterday, so we're recording on a Tuesday. I got back on Monday, much later than I was expecting, but managed to still watch it all because I'm just so committed, John, to this cause.
Otherwise, this would be a very weird pod. With just. So, Sam, what did you think? Just silence.
Yeah. But yeah, I tried to avoid spoilers, but I did see somebody talking about a chair shot and saying, what an outrageous chair shot.
Me too, actually, before I watched it as well.
And I thought, well, how bad can it be? And yeah, pretty bad. He really went for it. He absolutely smashed him. Obviously, there was a bit of bad luck with the angle that it hit.
I don't think there's anything on Sean Spears on this.
No,
I don't think there's any blame on him, really.
Do you think it was just the way that Cody was turning? The way it just sliced into the back of his head? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, they must have agreed it before. I bloody hope they agreed it before.
Oh, God, yeah.
Do it on the head rather than on the back, but I just don't think you should be doing that. I'm a bit weirded out by Sean Spears as well. I never liked Ty Dillinger.
I think, did Sam I think Sam rated Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, Sam really liked it. I think Brett does as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just a bit. He's got a lot to prove, I think.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they just see something in him. But yeah, 12 staples were required for Cody. No signs of concussion, which is quite surprising. Or maybe they're just saying that anyway, so they don't get too much grief.
I honestly thought when he got out and was trying to get out of the ring and he did the sort of went to the bottom rope and rolled under, I honestly thought he was going to be sick then. He did not look well. No,
he didn't.
Ugh.
Brandy must have been pretty worried.
Yeah, it was scary, actually, I'd say. It was not good.
No. Okay, should we move on then? Apart from that, unfortunately, that match has been overshadowed by that, but that was my match of the night, and another fantastic Cody match.
Yeah, so, I was
amazing.
Really high on that match, and then that happened. That put me in a bit of a downer, but this next match brought me right back up again.
Got you right back up. Good stuff. So this was the 3-on-3. Obviously, Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks have been feuding. They had their match at Double or Nothing, and they've been having matches around the world, in Mexico, obviously, and other places, I believe. So it's a proper feud. Laredo Kid joined the Lucha Brothers. Kenny Omega joined the Young Bucks. And well, I don't want to be down on this. I feel like we need Brett and Sam here to be high on it as well, but it's they basically did like a gimmick match, like an exhibition match. It didn't feel like as hard hitting or I don't know, as intense as perhaps it should have been for the feud. But anyway, ignore me, everybody, because this is what I do when it comes to a Young Bucks match. John, you tell us why it was a great match.
I understand some people don't like Young Bucks because it is kind of spot. But I fucking love spot. Like, I just imagine being there in the crowd after a few drinks, just out of my seat going mental all the time. It was just so much fun. Like, especially when they came out as Ryu and Ken, and Kenny Omega came out as Akuma. That was amazing.
Yeah. Did you see, apparently, because Kenny just had his normal tights on, apparently he had arranged a much better outfit, but his seamstress, they got confused and was like, yeah, I can get that to you on Monday. And he's like, well, the event's on Saturday.
Oh.
So he had to then bodge together an outfit, which bit of a shame. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they even did like a little Hadouken bit in it as well. That was cool. I think my favourite bit as well was it started off with Kenny Omega doing like knee triggers to everyone.
Yeah.
And then it ended with like Penta in the corner. He chucked, I think it was Nick Jackson over. And then Phoenix came running out to him and he just threw him over the turnbuckle like 20 feet into the air.
Yeah.
Just landed on the Young Buck.
Backdrop.
And then there was like a destroyer from the top rope. Oh my God, it's so good. And then Phoenix did a fucking Spanish fly from the top rope. Not from the turnbuckle, from the top rope.
Was that the bit where Nick struggled to get up to the top rope?
But covered it really well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My God, it's so much fun. I had such a smile on my face with this whole match. I was like, wow.
I had a straight face. It's so funny. I'm pleased we didn't watch this together. You would have been like, cheer up, Adam. And I would have been like, calm down, John.
I think these are the sort of matches you can send to any of your sort of part-time wrestling friend or someone who's like, you know, I love sending my brother links to wrestling. Like, oh, you should watch this. This is one of those matches you send because you cannot like wrestling. That's fine. But you watch this and there's no way you can't not enjoy it.
That's funny, actually, because one of the things that crossed my mind when I was watching it was that when I first got back into wrestling, I think it was around the time of the Will Ospreay Ricochet match that basically everyone was going on about. And I think that's an example of a match that people were sending to people who were lapsed wrestling fans. And I watched that and I watched a lot of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. But then as time's gone on, I've got much more into, and I know there's a place for everything. And I'm not saying you don't like the authentic or hard-hitting matches or whatever. But I just like matches that kind of feel a bit more real, as if they're making decisions or doing things that perhaps you would actually do. And when they're taking it in turns to flip each other over, like they're in to be crude about it, a standing 69 position and they're just flipping each other over.
Yeah.
And it's just like this, and this is just like carnival stuff. And yeah, it's fine. People do love that. And I totally acknowledge that, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I can completely get your standpoint. I mean, I think I used to be the same way, actually, until the Young Bucks in many ways. I just think they're so good at these matches. And I haven't watched a million Young Bucks matches, but I've watched pretty much most of their New Japan stuff and a lot of their Ring of Honor stuff. And I'm still not bored of it. It always makes me smile, and I'm always out of my seat. I love it.
I'm pleased for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure most people listening probably feel the same way. I know Sam and Brett probably.
This was my match of the night. It was so good. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's again, reading other reviews and just seeing some other feedback, it was a very popular one. And in fact, on the Grapple app, which we referred to a couple of times, but place that amalgamates people's ratings of matches, I think it's averaging at 4 stars.
Oh, is that good for Grapple app?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I think people who are going to do star ratings on an app like that tend to be the kind of people who put quite a lot of thought into it and don't just chuck stuff out willy-nilly in terms of high scores. So that is good. Yeah, very good. I'd have it more as a 2.75 or something like that. But hey, people are bored of this. 2.75. I promise this is the last time I will moan about a Young Bucks match. Next time we have one, I will just let you... I mean, it's different on this pod because it's just the two of us, but I'll let you guys take the floor because I think everyone knows my opinions.
Next one, just make sure you get a couple of drinks in you before you watch it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right. And in fact, if I was in the crowd, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
To be there and to see it all live, the acrobatic stuff would have been great. Anyway, a fun exhibition match.
Yeah, and the final match on the card, technically.
Yeah, God, they loved hitting that home. The final match of the card, the final match of the evening, because they were going to turn the lights out, and then they were going to have the unsanctioned match between Joey Janela and Jon Moxley. This is one where if you told me, I don't know, even 4, 5, 6 months ago that this was going to happen, you'd be like, what are you talking about? That's like, basically Janela's like one of the total king of the indies.
Yeah.
And then you've just got like a stalwart of WWE at the time, you know, a few months back, somebody who wrestled more WWE matches than most of his peers in a certain time period. You just think you never would have thought this would have been a match that would headline a pay-per-view for a new promotion.
No, it's bonkers. It really is bonkers. And to think we're going to get John Moxley versus Kenny Omega soon as well. Like,
I know. Oh, I'm so hyped for that.
So bonkers. What a world. I love it.
Did you listen to John Moxley on Talk Is Jericho?
No.
And he was on the Wade Keller podcast as well.
I sort of read about it, but I didn't listen to it.
Oh, definitely well worth a listen for anyone who hasn't. Just getting that behind the scenes info and just hearing him. I think he does it quite well. I mean, obviously there could be some bitterness there, but I think he doesn't just totally slag off WWE and Vince, but he sort of just explains how decisions are made and how the writers have so much pressure put upon them. And it's not that they're bad writers. They write good stuff. And then Vince goes, nope, tear that up and do it like this. And the writers just end up going, oh, okay, fine. You know, I want to keep my job, so let's crack on with whatever you say, Vince. And the same with the performers. Apparently, you know, they'd always be going to Vince saying, I've got this idea. And Vince would go, nope, do it this way. And they're like, oh, okay, fine.
Hey, it's all right now. We've got Bischoff back in. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. Well, Heyman apparently had a big impact on Raw on Monday. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't even read spoilers for Raw, actually.
Well, let's take a little sidetrack because apparently Raw on Monday night was much, much better. Clearly, they've made a little change in direction. I don't know if it's
do you reckon
a full
that
storm
quickly? But... And even if Heyman's there, do you reckon he's got that much creative control?
Apparently Heyman was there for the whole event. He was sat next to Vince. They controlled it between the two of them, and they had a Falls Count Anywhere match between Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman, a feud which has been fucking dull as water, but was dynamite. They had the two of them going through the screens, then there were pyrotechnics.
Yeah, I saw the clip of that. That just looked cool.
That looked pretty good.
That did look cool.
I mean, that looked dangerous.
Most exciting Bobby Lashley's been.
Yeah. During that, Corey Graves said, holy shit. Ooh. I mean, a swear word on WWE. Things are getting edgy. Samoa Joe was booked strongly. That never happens. What else? Street Profits debuted.
Oh, I saw. That's worrying, actually.
Yeah, weird. What is it with... Why are they doing that? Getting the NXT Tag Team Champions to come and
because WWE love tag teams. The tag team is so strong. They love it. That's what they're building the promotion around. Street
Profits are a proper tag team with great charisma, so I'm happy to see them, but it is still a bit strange. It still had Shane O'Mac on it. They're still building for this Undertaker thing, but Heyman's not going to be able to just ditch that, is he? But the weirdest thing is the old Mike and Maria Kanellis. They turned up for a match against Seth and Becky, and then Maria's saying she's pregnant, but she's turning on Mike. What's going on?
Yeah, I saw headlines about this, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that looks worrying." I guess because they were trying to push this Becky, Seth versus Lacey and Bazza.
Barrett, yeah.
They need to get some practice in. But
they say that Paul Heyman is actually a massive fan of Maria. Like, he's on record of saying that she's really creative and has loads of good ideas. So, potentially he was just like, "Hey, let's get these two involved."
I'm excited. I'm excited about Heyman. Heyman's all right in my book. That sounded really big-headed of me.
Yeah. He'll be so pleased to hear that.
Yeah. He'll be delighted.
There's different stuff happening, basically. It seems like there's a slight change in direction, which everyone is calling out for. And that's the biggest takeaway from listening to you guys talk about Stomping Grounds, was just like, we need a change. Like, this won't be forever. Things are cyclical, and it looks like perhaps this shit cycle is coming to an end. Probably not, though.
WWB will be all right. It always is.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Moxley. And yeah, those podcasts well worth listening to. Talk Is Jericho and Wade Keller. I'm sure most people have heard them, but have a look. What do you think about the match? It was basically a hardcore match.
Yeah, I don't really like hardcore matches, but I really enjoyed this because I felt it built really well. And the hardcore, it wasn't too bloody. Like, it wasn't too hard. The hardcore bits really hit home and it felt brutal, but without being over the top brutal. Like there wasn't too much blood and or crazy barbed wire getting stuck in people's eyes or all sorts.
Yeah, that's true. There was a lack of blood considering the all the barbed wire stuff.
Yeah.
You would have thought they would have got a few more tears and a bit more blood there. What do you think about the thumbtacks? I quite like the idea of the thumbtacks and the taking off the shoes and socks, but having seen that a few times with Jimmy Havoc in Progress and him really stomping down on those tacks, and it seemed like they weren't really sticking in as much. In fact, the spot where they stuck the most was right at the end, wasn't it? Where Moxley ended up with loads in his back.
Yeah. Although Joey Janela did have bleeding feet.
Yeah.
Did you see how baby soft Joey Janela's feet looked?
I did not notice that.
My word, they
Tell us more.
looked like pillows. They were so pink and soft, like baby's feet. I was like, how you got so soft feet? Like, has he just been soaking them in moisturising for the last 2 weeks just for this spot?
Quite possibly.
It's my biggest takeaway for this entire pay-per-view. Like, my star performer is Joey Janela's baby soft feet.
Whoever is doing, I was about to say paediatrics. That's children, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be. Maybe he's got a paediatric, what's the word for feet?
Podiatrist? Is that it?
Paediatric podiatrist? Maybe. Somebody who specialises in kids' feet.
Do you reckon he got some cheap, like, baby feet on the black market somewhere and just got them grafted on?
Oh, God. What a horrible thought.
Okay.
You're disgusting when you're on your own.
Back to John Moxley. I don't know if this is me sort of projecting.
Yeah.
Do you think he looks, one, like he's enjoying himself a lot more than he was in WWE, and just like the way he wrestles is a lot more snappier, you know? It's a lot more, got a lot of oomph to it.
Yeah. He's clearly so much more invested, and that's something that comes across on those podcasts, is him just saying how he can just do what he likes now. He has a chat with Cody or the Young Bucks or whatever, and it's just like, should we try this? And they're like, yeah, let's try it. And he can actually do it. He can come up with stuff. It's like, should we cut this promo and film it and put it out on social media like in 5 minutes? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. There's not all these levels of hierarchy which essentially end with Vince telling him no. He can just do what he wants to do. So I think he's definitely feeling a lot more energized than he was. And plus the PG side is totally gone now. He can have the kind of matches that he used to have before he was in WWE, and he clearly loves having now.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I didn't think I was going to, actually, but yeah, I loved it. I really loved JR apologising for Moxley saying motherfucker as well. That made me laugh.
I know, that was funny. It's okay, JR, we can handle it.
Also, I think he said that the clothesline you can feel in Orlando, and I thought that was a dig at like WWE and NXT, but maybe it's because of the CEO gaming things and. Orlando.
Yeah, well, this was in Orlando, wasn't it?
Was it?
No. Yes, Daytona Beach, Florida. So no, close.
Okay,
not far away.
But it probably wasn't a dig at WWE, is what I'm thinking now.
No, probably not. But yeah, I'm really excited to see more straight Ambrose matches. And in fact, did you watch the Juice Robinson match? On the final night of the Best of Super Juniors.
Loved that match.
You see, that was supposedly a straight match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think it had a stipulation.
Stiff.
Obviously,
my God, that match was stiff.
Yeah, the refs are a bit more lax with the rules and things, but
New Japan refs are the most incompetent people in the entire planet.
I like the idea that he is going to bring a bit of that hardcore element to his straight matches, like the way that he was just pummeling Juice's eyebrow and then biting it, for God's sake. It was amazing. Yeah. So I can't wait for his match with Kenny Omega. It's going to be...
I can't believe John Moxley is one of the most exciting wrestlers in the world at the moment.
I know. That is so mad.
I really loved, obviously, he won with Dirty Deeds on the thumbtacks, which looked brutal. And then obviously Omega came out of the beatdown. I love that sort of vicious side of Omega. You don't really see that very much. I love that. And also I love the fact that, one, the cameraman fell over. And John Moxley was trying not to corpse. Also, at the last shot, obviously after the beatdown, was just him smiling into the camera. I thought it was really good.
Yes, the sadistic smile. How did you rate the improvisation from Kenny Omega with all the different instruments?
Yeah, I thought, actually, I didn't like the drumsticks thing. I thought that was a bit stupid.
That was quite funny. Like a child playing drums. It's like, I think you do more damage like poking somebody with a drumstick than just drumming
Yeah,
on
just
their back.
jab it into his back or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just shove it straight in his eye socket.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Come on,
Blind
hardcore.
him. You'd have a much better chance of winning the match you've got coming up if you just blind him.
Yeah. Half-assed.
Yeah. Something to think about moving forward.
More blinding in wrestling, please.
But yeah, a good match. Again, another one that's had some rave reviews, I think. Joey Janela's another wrestler like Darby Allin who isn't afraid to just put his body on the line.
It's got a death wish.
He has. He said before he happily die in the ring, and the rate he's going, I wouldn't be surprised. But let's hope that doesn't happen, of course.
Yeah. I think that we can all say that. That's fine. That's not a controversial point.
We might get big numbers on the podcast if that did happen. People might want to hear our takes on a man dying in the ring. So,
would we comment on it if that happened? We wouldn't do a podcast about it, would we?
We'd do a number of bonus podcasts. Okay, yeah, so that was our final match, Joey Janela versus Jon Moxley. As we've said, Jon Moxley has Kenny Omega coming up at, is it All Out or is it Fight for the Fallen?
I'm going to say All Out.
You'd think so.
Yeah, because Kenny Omega's fighting Shima, isn't he?
Of course,
Fight
yeah.
for Fallen.
Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega is money. That is literally the biggest match they could probably book at this time. So you'd imagine it would do very well at the top of a big card like All Out or a big event like All Out. So I'm very much looking forward to that. As with Joey Janela, I'd just happily see him take on anyone. He's so charismatic.
You kind of feel there's a hardcore match with Jimmy Havoc in the wings waiting, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's a funny thing because actually, as I said, like during this match, I was thinking this is cool, but I've seen quite a few of these things before. I like the way they're doing it, but actually, I haven't seen this kind of match on a big promotion. And AEW is trying to be a big alternative to WWE, and obviously you'd get nothing like this on there. It's just the kind of match I've seen a lot on Progress.
Yeah, and I think you said it on the All In podcast one, where I hope they don't use blood too much. Like every pay-per-view, there's been quite a bit of blood.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought with the Cody. That's why for a second I thought maybe he'd bladed, because I was like, oh, here we are. We know that blood looks amazing in a bleached head. Everyone remembers Ric Flair, but this was a genuine accident.
Yeah.
But it still looked cool.
Cody loves bleeding on pay-per-views.
Yeah, he bloody does. Oh, bloody does. Anyway, that is it for the match-by-match review. We're going to have a quick break, and then we're going to choose our star performer and give the pay-per-view a rank out of 10.
Do I need to mention that's the hardest part of the ring?
Star performer then. Who are you going to choose?
So, obviously, Joey Janela's baby soft feet. I think, although I think it does have to be Jon Moxley, right?
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go for Darby Allin.
Ooh,
that's what I wrote down before. I think your point that he didn't really get a chance to do much apart from get beaten up is a very valid one. But that coffin drop was obscene.
Yeah, it really was.
That was my biggest reaction throughout the whole pay-per-view was for that. I know yours was for some baby feet, but mine was for that.
I mean, although he didn't get a lot of offense in it, he still came out of that match looking relatively strong. Like Cody couldn't put him down no matter what. You know?
Yeah, true. Okay, two good choices there. Overall rank, we're going to give the pay-per-view a score out of 10, work out the average. It's going to be nice and easy to work out the average when there's only two of us, and see how it compares to other pay-per-views. So I'll go first. I'm just going to go for a solid 7, I think.
Oh, I was going to go 7.5.
Okay. Let's log that in for an average of 7.25, which comes just above NXT TakeOver Rivals and just below WWE Survivor Series 2018.
I don't remember what happened at the Survivor Series.
No.
But I probably won't remember what happens at this pay-per-view in a year's time, so...
No, apart from the baby feet.
Oh my God, those beautiful baby feet.
Oh God, this is going to become a thing now. Hopefully he never takes off his shoes again because he's been transfixed. You must love Matt Riddle. Have you looked at Matt Riddle's feet?
Yeah, he's got quite skanky big feet. What I was fascinated with Joe Janela, that he took his boots off and he had those little trainer socks as well, you know, not like full socks, but little...
That is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And then he uncovered the beautiful baby feet.
Are you a feet man?
No, I absolutely hate feet.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
contradict
really,
yourself.
really hate feet.
Unless they're on babies.
I guess so. Maybe this is unlocking some new...
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
The algorithm thing is... anyway, so let's move on very quickly to the hardest question of the week.
Question of the week.
Just a quick one this week because I put it out fairly late and haven't had many responses. But the question is, the one I put out on Twitter, in honour of Fyter Fest and the fact that festival season is in full swing, which wrestler would you most like to go camping with and why?
Oh, good question.
We had Aaron Nix said, my girlfriend said Chuck Mambo's. He looks like he would survive in the woods.
Too hectic. Not up for that.
No, yeah, it would be. It really would be. Yeah, and then he said, my pick is Angelico because he's super cool and also beautiful to look at. Plus, you'd have an epic Bangarang-style rave at night.
Yeah, I'm not into Creamfield, so that's a no for me.
Then Gihan got in touch. He said Skinner because he's basically WWF 80s heel Crocodile Dundee and he'd be able to survive any shit that would go wrong.
What festival are you going to where you want to take Skinner with you? Good Lord. None
of these are the correct answer, but I think this one might be more up our street because Loserweight says Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
You know why. That's the kind of vibe we're after, Loserweight.
I would definitely. Rob Van Dam's a great shout.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd love to spend a few hours with Rob Van Dam. It'd be lovely.
That sounded a bit creepy as well.
Yeah.
They've really brought the creepy side out of you tonight.
He can keep his shoes on. That's fine. I'm okay. I don't want to see Rob Van Dam's feet. I really don't actually. I think they're gross. I imagine they're really gross.
God. Right, next podcast. We are going to take a week off. Believe it or not, I had a look. Obviously, I took a week off last week and Sam and Brett are off this week. And we've had another one where we did the NXT one. And people have taken weeks off. But as a podcast, we've done 9 weeks in a row, which is a record for us, I think.
Wow, it's not bad.
Yeah, so we're going to all be away next week. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks when actually... we've got to decide because for the first time we have 2 events on one weekend. We've got AEW Fight for the Fallen and we've got WWE Extreme Rules.
Oh, that's the weekend before I move house as well. I'm going to be busy and I have to watch two long pay-per-views.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we'll do one, if we'll do both. Maybe we could split off and do like 2 guys do one, 2 guys do the other and we review them in one pod. Who knows? I just don't know what we're going to do, but we'll definitely talk about at least one of them. So we've got that to look forward to. And also there has been a little bit of chat in our WhatsApp group because Sam, and I'm going to say this on the podcast so that he can't pull out of it, but he has committed to watching every single match of the G1.
I'm guessing that can't include tag matches.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, New Japan G1 is coming up and bloody hell, the brackets look incredible. Amazing lineup of wrestlers. Every match has potential to be absolutely brilliant. And talking about wanting to see more straight matches or wanting to see sort of more singles matches from Moxley, and the way that he was booked in that Juice Robinson match gets me very excited for his matches. So we'll see how he gets utilised there. But yeah, Sam has said that he's going to watch all of those G1 matches, and I've suggested that he perhaps does a couple of like little recap podcasts, maybe by himself, but I'm sure you and Brett will attempt to watch some of that stuff as well. So we'll see how that goes. Sam, if you're listening, you have to do that now.
Yeah, that's a lot of wrestling to watch. That's an awful lot of wrestling to watch.
Yeah, it is. Right, so that is it. John, do you want to take the Brett role and tell us how people can get in touch?
Oh, I was not prepared for this. Okay.
Sure you know it off by heart. Come on, we must all know
I always don't know out of this bit. So you can get in touch with us. You can email us at hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on social media at hardestpartpod. Oh, and we also have a shop at hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Fantastic. Thank you very much to everybody for listening. Sam, if you're listening, I hope your holiday's lovely. Brett, if you're listening, just stop doing so much work.
I think Sam's actually out there for work, though. I don't think he's on holiday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Those guys work so hard.
He does.
We'll see those guys in a couple of weeks. We'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Until then, it's goodbye from me, Adam. Goodbye from John.
Goodbye.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring!
Do you want me to... I've got some quite nice foot photos here if you want me to send some over.